Hi, how are you? I hope you are doing okay. Welcome to our very first video of Python, and we'll be using colab.research.google.com, link in the description down below, where you can have a very neat presentation to your code. You can add some text, images, and everything that will be very helpful if you have to make a presentation or work in Teams. Once you are logged in your Google account, you can choose between Python 3 or Python 2. Python 3 is the newer, so I'm using this right now. Then I'm using also the night mode. Here in preferences, you can set night mode or the one that is default with the white screen. After that, you already choose your settings. Let's start with adding code or text. For instance, if I want to add a little bit more of text, I'm going to press down this cell. And if I want to increase the font size, I'm going to press here. And I'm going to erase this little text that is already by default. For instance, I can say hi. You already see the result of what are you writing here. And if you want to add a little emoji like I did in this one, I went to Emojipedia and search for this one. Just going to copy this one, and after that Ctrl V to paste, and that's all. Click away of the cell, and you already have to choose between coding or making more cells that contains text. Okay, so that's all. If you want to erase this cell because you don't want to see it anymore, you go to these dots here, more selections, and you can delete this cell. Okay, that's all. Let's start with our very first code. I want to make an output. An output is something that is going to be helpful to see the result of a code in the screen. I'm going to select this one code, and let's start with our very first line. The instruction to print something, it's pretty self-explanatory. Print. You have to use the parentheses, and if you are going to write down like a message or you're going to use only letters and symbols, that's called string characters. Then they have to be in quotations marks like this one, and I'm going to put a little text like hello there. To execute this line, only I have to press down here, run cell, and after a little while you'll see your result here. So that's all. But if you want to put something like numbers, Python could do the operation, the math operation right away. For instance, maybe we can put a little message. Sorry, did you know that 2 plus 2? I'm writing in the quotation marks. I'm not going to have any result like that, because remember, when you are using the quotation marks, it's just to put the message in the screen, no to make any operations or something else. Then I'm going to put an equal sign like this. I'm going to let to have a blank space, and after that I'm going to use a comma and make the actual operation, the math operation. So 2 plus 2. When you execute this line, you'll see the result like this. Did you know that 2 plus 2 equals to 4? That Python is already Python did the math operation, and the result is shown here. Okay, let's do another variation. I'm going to add a little bit more of code in this cell, and I'm going to make these lines, as you see here, are separated but I want them to be in the same line. So let's try this one. I'm going to put hello, to write down a hello, then comma, then a blank space, and I'll be using and equals, the quotation marks, and nothing. If you want a blank space, but that will be the same. And let's write down a little message right here, like welcome to Python. And if you want to have a little bit fun, maybe a face, I don't know, wherever you want, it's okay. And I'm going to press down run cell, and that's all. If you see this line, this code and equals to quotation marks avoids to have a new line, and your next message is going to be printed and right away. Okay, let's see another very useful thing in Python and in every coding language, that is variables. Variables, as I already write down here, is something that will change its value along the code. Okay, so a pretty easy example, if your age, for instance, I'm going to write down the variable. One of the main advantages of Python is you don't have to declare the variables. You can use it in every part of the code and you'll be fine. So if you already knew another language that you have to declare the variable, because if you don't do so, maybe you are going to have an error. Don't worry, Python doesn't have to declare the variables. Okay, so after that I'm going to put age is going to be equal to 29 minus, let's say you born in 1980, and after that I'm going to print the value age. Let's see, how many years do you have? 39. Very good then. Okay, let's jump into the math basic operations. Here I'm going to show you how to put the LaTeX code. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of text, and I'm going to use this one again. Control V to paste, and I want the text to be a little bit more bigger, and I'm going to put this one. Remember, here's a tip for you. Perhaps you already know that, and I'm going to use the dollar symbol, and after that I'm going to be using the square, and already converted to the LaTeX visualization. Okay, so I have to choose this one, the diagonal. I used the one that is inverted, and then the function to LaTeX that is squared is the number that I want to be in the square, and after that I'm going to put the same number but equivalent to, remember to raise to the power that it's going to be a fraction, and also I'll be using more LaTeX. And that's all. So let's try another math operations using this little tip here, and let's add another code cell. What about printing a subtraction? And to make it more interesting, let's subtract 2 minus 5, and maybe we can also test division. 4 divided by 2, and also what else, maybe a multiplication. Oh, here's the symbol, 6 times 7, and What about raising to a power? The first number is the one that you will be raising to a certain power, and the second number, the second argument of this function is the number that you want to be in the power. For instance, I want to raise 2 to the power of 3, and I have to write down the numbers in this order. And after that, I'm going to use pow, but using as a squared. Okay, then I'm going to put 16 and raise to the power of 1.5, and it's 1.5 will be my second argument, like in this step that I write down in this line. Okay, I'm going to execute this code, and let's check out the results. -3, that's okay. 4 divided by 2, 2 exactly, and the multiplication it's 42, very well. And if you raise 2 to the power of 3, you're going to have 8, very nice. And lastly, the square of 16 is 4, very good. Okay, that's all for this video. I hope you find it useful. If so, please give this video a like, and maybe consider subscribe to see more of the Python videos that I will be uploading. And if you have any suggestions to the next videos, I'm thinking the next one is going to be related to the math library in Python, and we are going to explore a little bit more of that instructions that you'll need if you are working with math operations. And if you have any other comment, please let me know in the comment sections below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!